Now, scientifically speaking, all of us men are born with higher levels of testosterone, providing us with much greater capacity and magnitude for aggression. However, when it comes to the male aggression, the first things that come into our mind is all about the undesirable and unattractive qualities with regards to anger, hate, violence, and destruction. In this feminized world, we have been conditioned and programmed from an early age to perceive the male aggression in such a negative way to the point where men ourselves start to reject, repress, and even feel repulsively disgusted by our own capacity for audacity. We have been numb to believe that being soft and compassionate is the only way to make it in this world, that love will prevail no matter what evil that bestows itself upon us. That is just plain ignorant and stupid. If someone bullies you, would you just sit on the floor and pray that that blow will eventually stop the harassment? Pathetic and cowardly is what you are. Stand your ground and figure out a way to defend yourself. Aggression is not necessarily destructive at all. It springs from the innate tendency to grow and master life, which seems to be characteristic of all living matter. Only when this life force is obstructed in its development do ingredients of anger, rage, and hate become connected with it. We focus too much on the dirty side of the coin when it comes to aggression. While aggression is strongly correlated to anger, they are not the same. Anger is more of an emotional reaction, while aggression is more of an attitude. When a man is aggressive in his approach to circumstances, it does not mean that he is always susceptible or vulnerable to anger. Dangerous but not violent, ruthless but not vicious, formidable but not terrifying. Such as, if a man is extremely thorough or detailed in his analysis towards a matter, it is considered as an aggressive trait or tactic or strategy, but that doesn't mean that he is hell-bound to inevitably experience or showcase anger when he conducts his analysis. In fact, aggression is absolutely necessary in life and in survival, especially for men. As if done right, we can properly and constructively utilize the cultivating properties of this particular dark side quality of our psyche to our advantage in navigating or breaking through the ruthless and competitive challenges of life, way more than the nourishing but vulnerable qualities of compassion could ever do for us. These cultivating properties of aggression can be classified into two very important traits: initiation and assertion, offense and defense. When it comes to initiation, it's all about the ability to take initiative as a man. Most of us all have been sufferers of hesitancy, and this is what happens when you repress your aggression as a man. The feeling that holds us back from taking action to start any conquests and endeavors, all because of fear, which upon failure will eventually manifest itself into anger, disappointment, and regret. Or because we are unable to push past that hesitancy due to us being afraid of society's punishments in the form of criticisms, condemnations, and repulsion when we showcase our aggression towards a particular circumstance. And in the end, it left us with nothing but being bombarded with our own unbearable and shameful frustration because we are unable to eventually unlock and test our potential by putting our desires into practical actions. Aggression, when it comes to taking initiative, is all about the conduct of imposing our will to every thought that we fixate and action that we take. The traits of boldness, courage, decisiveness, meticulousness, eccentricity, straightforwardness, resolute, adaptability, resourcefulness, and mastery are all cultivated through the aggression of taking initiative and being the leader of every step that you take going forwards in your life. It doesn't have to be all about purposeful endeavors. Even as simple as going out for a date requires the initiative to plan it all out and eventually execute those plans. All of those traits are all about creating and manifesting your own desired circumstances to the best of your abilities, the perfect blend and magnitude of visualizing, planning, and acting. When it comes to assertion, it's all about the ability to display and enforce your boundaries as a man, or in other words, the act of claiming your authority. Now, I've made a video about boundaries before, but I'm going to try to further explain why they are necessary for survival. Like I mentioned earlier, if someone bullies you, takes it too far, or push your buttons too hard, what are you going to do about it? Let him keep kicking you in the face as you lay down on the floor? Or are you going to assert yourself, acknowledge your worth, and defend yourself? Now, of course, when it comes to people we don't know, it is much easier for us to decide to defend ourselves. But what if this person is your best friend whom you've acknowledged and trusted for a long time? In this case, we've all experienced that particular sensation of being afraid to hurt other people's feelings or offending them to the point where they will try to assert themselves as well, and potentially escalate the situation into a conflict and eventually fracturing the relationship. Again, this is all because of our conditioned fear to face society's punishments for defending ourselves from unfavorable misconducts and engaging in conflicts, which will eventually leave us being taken advantage of by other people and become extremely vulnerable to manipulation, deception, and even physical harm. This is where aggression will assist you tremendously, regardless of your status of companionship with anybody who extensively disrespects you. It is your own right and jurisdiction to reclaim your authority when it comes to your very own well-being or dignity, even if it means engaging in conflicts. You will always have enemies, remember? Traits such as being able to call people out on their bullshits, reject undesirable offers, denounce unfavorable conducts, standing up for your own beliefs or principles, protect yourself from physical harm, and assert your authority are all cultivated through the aggression of enforcing your boundaries. Those traits are all about preserving and displaying your commanding presence and control over yourself and the circumstances that are bestowed upon you. If you allow people to keep disrespecting you, they will continue to do so until they have complete dominance and control over both your thoughts and actions. Aggression for men is absolutely crucial to be unlocked, accepted, embraced, harnessed, and properly utilized if you gentlemen want to thrive in anything in this highly competitive and power-hungry life. When was the last time any powerful man didn't showcase his near unwavering aggression through either his words or actions or body of work? If you repress and reject it, it will eventually implode on you and spiral out of control with tremendous consequences. This is where the hate, anger, and violence will manifest themselves. Just like any emotion that is bottled up or contained for too long without any attempt to be properly understood and eventually expressed or satiated. We all have dark side qualities that society tells us to get rid of, especially with regards to men. But shutting them out from your life and being apologetic for having greater capacity and capability in them is the same thing as feeling sorry for yourselves for being born with a dick and a pair of balls. Thank you for watching.